Hello and thank you for joining us on the midweek edition of Journalists Hangout. I'm Ayodele Uzubakum. Today on the program, angry senators lament over rising insecurity, want troops deployed to flashpoints. And later on the show, lawyers in Rivers State condemn Governor Wike's attempt to impose junior judge as chief judge. I'll be hanging out with Babajide Kolade Otitoju and Asuko James. So if you're ready, let the hangout start now. Thank you for staying with us. Day in, day out, insecurity dominates national discourse in Nigeria. Lawmakers are lending their voices to the worsening insecurity in the country. At plenary on Tuesday, angry senators lamented over wanton killings across the country. They want troops deployed to flashpoints to curtail the escalating insecurity. One of them, Senator Smart Adeyemi from Kogi West, was moved to tears. Let's share how it went at the Senate with you.
That's the next thing that people are dying. Every day Nigerians are dying. We must rise on the occasion.
It is not a happy day at the Nigerian Senate. Senators bitterly lament the worsening security situation in the country. Fresh news of violent attacks are brought to the floor of the parliament by the senator representing Niger East, Senator Sani Musa. Over 5,000 villagers in his state have yet again been displaced as a result of attacks by insurgents.
My motion today is on the activities of bandits and Boko Haram terrorists in Shiroro, Munya, and Rafi local government areas of Niger State, which has taken a dangerous dimension and requires urgent need for federal government to deploy troops and other security apparatus to immediately bring an end to the menace of this insurgency and terrorism in Niger State and other parts of Nigeria.
Lawmakers cannot hold back their emotions, and they express fear that the situation may have gotten out of control and could become even worse if something urgent and drastic is not done.
We are all going to be consumed in this place. Sitting here pretending to say that we are the people of the country until when one of us is killed before we know precisely what is the problem on ground.
They say the government must stop paying lip service to an already bad situation as it has shown clear incompetence in handling the matter and must begin to seek foreign help.
A lot of Nigerians have raised their voices. Is there any shame if the Western powers, they have the powers, the arsenal to fight this warfare? Why can we not invite them?
There's a need for us to call a spade a spade. The executive have shown clear incompetence of handling this security situation.
When the pandemic got to a point that China had to claim, they came to their rescue. We shouldn't pretend that we needed foreign support now. Let nobody deceive us, Mr. President. A lot of billions of naira have been voted for security services. Nothing is coming out of it. We wouldn't wait until our nation gets bombed. Let us shout and call for foreign support. I am a APC man and I've been supporting my party, but the president should get to know that it has gotten to a point that we who are supporters, who are members of the APC, we can no longer keep quiet. The president must rise to the occasion. You will not see the truth and you are afraid to say it because you will die. We must open, Mr. President. The nation is on fire. The president must rise to the occasion. It costs us nothing to get foreign support. We must rise to the occasion. We must bring in people to save this country, or else we'll be consumed. Every one of us will have a chapter for history. Whenever the history of this period will be written, whatever is our position, we have a chapter. We cannot keep quiet any longer. It has gotten to a point that we cannot sleep with our two eyes closed. We are not free. Our children are not free. The president must rise to the occasion. There's no nation that is so powerful that it doesn't need support of other nations. Individual cannot say you will leave the world without any other person with you. So we must rise. The situation is our security system has collapsed. It has failed. And because it has failed, we need to look for foreign support. It costs Nigeria nothing. Forget the ego, forget the superiority of Nigeria in African nations. Today, we are facing serious problems. If our nation is to survive this period, I'm not in doubt that the security architecture we have today cannot cope with what we are facing. Every part of this country is threatened. From the north to the south, nobody is safe. Nobody can travel 50 kilometers in our nation. I feel like shedding tears for a country that we grew up, where nobody harasses you when you travel from Lagos to Maiduguri. I've done it in times past. Today I cannot travel from here to Kaduna to Niger State where I was born. The president must know that this is a bad time for our nation. We must look for foreign support to save this nation. This is my position, Mr. President. We must rise to it. They are killing people in the east, in the west, in the south, in the north. We should shut down the National Assembly. Let's shut down. If we cannot save this country, we stay in our homes. Our country is bleeding. People are in poverty. There's no food. People are hungry. Insecurity is threatening us. We cannot pretend. It's better we are not here. That's the next thing that people are dying. Every day Nigerians are dying. We must rise to the occasion. And so me, Mr. President.
Senator Smath Adeyemi, Kogi West, a senator from the All Progressive Congress. Babajide, this has gone beyond any political party. Oh. This is the time, what Smath is saying, this is the time everybody needs to rise, regardless of your political party. That is, in fact, he spoke truth to power.
He spoke truth to them, and everyone, they are in power. It's not Buhari alone that's in power. The Senate president is the number 3 president in the country. The hierarchy. And he was seated there. He spoke truth to all of them, not to power. When we speak, we can say, okay, oh, Jide spoke truth to power, Suko spoke truth to power. When a senator speaks, he's speaking truth to them. Because they are the ruling class, and they are the ruling party. The Senate, the National Assembly, is very critical in a democracy. They have the power to impeach the president if they want. So they are in power. It's not only the president that is in power, they too are in power. So he spoke the truth, he spoke truth to all of them in power. Because just as he said, if they can't save Nigeria, if they can't cause good things to happen, if they cannot get the executive to do what will end this needless bloodletting in our country, then what is their usefulness? That is the point that he's making. And he said, let's shut down the National Assembly. Because what do you go there to do? You go there simply to sit down? If you people, you are not safe too.
That's what
you are not safe too. When you drive on the Kaduna Abuja highway, you risk being kidnapped.
He was talking about even traveling from Lagos to Maiduguri.
In the past, yes, that it was Nigerians could travel. Well, it was fun. You now, were you not traveling? You leave Lagos and go to Ilorin, Lagos to Kaduna,
yes. All time.
And it was fun. There was a time when I just got transferred to Lagos to be editor of PM News, because I never wanted to work in Lagos. I was transferred twice and I didn't come. The third one, my bosses blackmailed me by publishing it, that they now have a new editor for PM News, and they put my big picture across like 3 columns. You know, when you do that in the newspaper, you'll be wondering what's going on. So at that point, I couldn't but come and take the job. I was going to Kaduna every weekend. Every weekend.
From the base here in Lagos.
Once I finished producing PM News on Monday afternoon, usually by 12:01, I'm through. Once I finish production, because I'll do night from Thursday to Friday morning, so that I can finish the production on time. Once I finish production, I'm standing in front of our office. That's where Sweet Sensation is in Ogba now. I'm standing there. I will take a bike from that place straight to Edo Terminus.
Where you go?
And I'm going to Kaduna straight.
All night?
Yes. I will drive by 6 a.m. we are in Kaduna. I just didn't feel like leaving the north. So when I listen to some people saying, oh, Jide does not like Arewa, I know that these ones, they can't think. If I don't like Arewa, then who are the people that I like? who are my best friends?
You are more of even a northern.
I don't know if I was born in Zaria. You are not more northern than me. We are both in Zaria. You are not more northern than me. Stop deceiving yourself. So I will leave. I did that for about 3 months. I did that for about 3 months. It was Odia of a mom that stopped me one day. As I was about to go, say, you are a stupid man. You are about to go again. What are you going to look for? The things that you are going to look for, I know, but they are here. He just looked at me and said, this one is unmarried. This young man, where is he going? You see, it was fun then. At that time, this Tegina road, Tegina is part of Rafi local government. That Kagara, all of those places. It was fun. We would stop in the night. We would eat and then get into the bus and start going. It was fun. People can't go through some of those roads again. No, if you try it,
you can't.
If you try it,
you can't. You can't.
So that's Niger. That's Niger for you. So the thing is, it was fun to travel, but it's no longer fun. Boko Haram and bandits. They are even soldiers. We've seen stories of soldiers themselves who were kidnapped when they traveled on the road. So many cases.
Can't face their firepower.
Oh, you are a colonel, maybe you are a lieutenant colonel or the senior officer. You now travel by road. That Kaduna, this thing. If you are lucky, they will catch you, and that is it. You will pay ransom, whether you are a soldier or not. Yes, you will pay ransom.
In fact, something of interest. See, in fact, when we were called up for NYC, those days like that, and I got my own call up, I think 24 hours to the end of camp. So I had no choice, Ebonyi State. I had to take the night bus from Lagos. And all through the nights, we got to Enugu, from Enugu, went to Abakaliki. And throughout the service here, that was what we were doing. We preferred night bus. But you dare not try it again today.
Yeah. You know, the thing is just like Senator Smart Adeyemi actually raised, he was seriously angry.
Yes, emotional, got emotional.
You know, everybody in Nigeria, it was speaking the minds of everybody. We can't do those things that we used to do that we saw as fun. I remember when I was still young, the first time because I grew up in Lagos, I was born in Lagos and everything. The first time I went to Akwa Ibom was through a luxury bus, my mom. And it was in the night. Because then you take night bus, you are in Akwa Ibom in the morning.
Yes.
You know,
straight.
Because you'll be passing through Onitsha, Abia, Owerri, you know, like that. Then from there, you're already in Uyo. So the very first time that I got to my village was using night bus. So it was like, it was fun. You're going on holiday, the long holidays that we usually have, you know, you will always take night bus.
Now you know more towns.
Yes. So, you know, and that is how we grew up. Some years back, there was a day I was in Abeokuta, we had a deal in Oyo, 12 midnight. We had to drive from Abeokuta to Oyo. And nothing will happen. Sometimes you go to Osun, the same in the night.
Yes.
Nothing will happen to you. You are not even afraid. You won't even see one police officer. Not one. Because there's nothing that will make you... Yes, it's faster because no traffic, nothing. There is nothing that would even come to your head to say that somebody will block the road. Nothing.
Somebody will steal.
Or somebody will come and kidnap you. But now you will carry rosary, you will carry anything that you want to carry before you travel. Google Map will not tell you that anywhere is blocked.
Can they tell me that I should travel with anyone at night?
No, it's not. Even daytime, Ayo. Even daytime. There are some times in daytime they will tell you that after 2 o'clock. There are some roads you can't pass in Nigeria after 2 o'clock.
Because that's when they come out.
Because that is when they come out.
They will be in military camouflage.
Of course.
They'll come out.
They will mount roadblocks. Sometimes they can just come from nowhere. I have heard of even this Lagos Ibadan.
Yes, they kidnap people.
They kidnap people there.
It just takes being unlucky.
You know?
Wrong
So
timing.
that is it.
As a friend of mine that we were discussing, he said that he was boasting that he goes to Kaduna all the time, that they talk about kidnapping, that he goes there, nothing has happened.
And passes through the...
So I told him, I said, stop saying rubbish, So many people have been kidnapped there, so many people have been killed. There are videos to that effect. So what are you talking about? Even El-Rufai, the governor, had to come down to join security people in trying to apprehend some kidnappers who had gone into the bush on that same road.
Yes.
So what are you talking about?
They've done everything.
We cannot fail to talk about a problem that refuses to go away. As long as the problem is there, people will talk about it because they want a solution. It's not a question of hatred for a party. It's not a question of hatred for an individual. If you are doing well, people will commend you. If you are not doing well in the area of security, honestly, whatever you do, if you like, build houses for every Nigerian in the sky, they will condemn you. They will not, even those houses you are building, people will not give you credit.
Nobody will live there.
That is why, since last year, I've been saying that the biggest problem of the country now is security, and the president must address it. But it appears now that things are just getting worse. And we are looking like people who,
it's as if
who have given up.
Control.
Who have given
It's as
up.
if they can't control it again.
Yes, that
because I know if the
I think
president
even
has...
the worst is even when you are in your house and they will come and take you and your
Yes,
family. That
break
is even the
break your
worst.
door and then come out. Shebi, that's
And
what
it's
happened.
across.
That woman, the Maria in Zaria Low Cost that I talked about 2 days ago.
Yeah.
It was 1 a.m. that they broke into her house
your
and
house.
took her and had 2 sons.
The one
They
in Oyo recently
So we can't
in the
even sleep.
hotel, the man, they just regained freedom. You know, his family, everybody,
They took everybody away.
You know, everyone, and that is how it's been done in Kaduna. It's like normal thing in Kaduna.
Senators
They will just
started
come,
doing
just
that.
break into your
You
house,
know,
and then they will pick you.
After making that speech, she practically broke down. He was crying.
Yes.
To show you, look, even from Abuja to his own village, I'm sure that...
No, he has to think twice before going. His village. His village is far now. His village is not far from my village. You know?
As a serving senator.
And you know,
It's not easy to go. You have to think twice.
Because he too is also looking at his
And if they
country's
catch someone like him, it's big fish. They could ask for 1 billion.
Or 5 billion.
You know, so, and
So
you see,
negotiating.
it's being in their custody. It is when you are lucky that you come out alive. People must bear that in mind.
Yes.
Sometimes you die in their hands. A lot of these big people, these
They're on
senators
drugs.
are there, they are on drugs
Every day.
that they
They
must
have to
use
take their
every day.
medication, yes.
When you
By the
have
time you
good
don't take it
health,
for a week, a month.
when you have good health, you just give God the glory.
Hey.
I've seen someone, I was in the aircraft one day, and I saw a woman trying to take her drugs. It was, her hand was full. Her hand was full, and she swallowed everything. Imagine, you can imagine packing close to 30 tablets and consuming it at once. You give me even 2 tablets, sometimes I will be putting in my mouth one after another. But this woman, everything at once. So you can imagine if that kind of person gets kidnapped and access to, she can't have access to her drugs. She could die in their hands. And that's why some people don't have endurance. And when they are moving you from forest to forest, you can't move fast, they shoot you. These are the things happening.
And some of them, if you are an able-bodied man like you, they want to break you down first.
Exactly.
So that you won't stand up against them.
Exactly.
Yes,
So
to be
they want
sure
to take you through kilometers of road. Because we've seen some guys
So that you will be
stood
weak.
up to them,
Disarm them.
disarm them, and so
There's
they want-
even no point. If you are kidnapped by a group of bandits, all of them carry AK-47 or AK-49.
What do you want to
Why
watch?
are you trying to be a hero? Why are you trying to disarm them? One of them will just shoot you and you are gone. You know, the one who is gone has no hope. If you are kidnapped and you don't die in the process, chances are that your plans in life, you'll still be able to fulfill fulfill them. So there's no point taking such.
I have a caller on the line. Thank you for joining us.
Hello? Good evening, Ayo.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening. You people have been talking about authority security. And Nigeria is busy. Can simply talk about it and wait for this to what happened. And the government everybody keep quiet. There's opposition, everybody keep quiet. All Nigeria is busy talking about 2 people are dying every day. Nobody knows who's going to be happy the next. The point of this matter, let the president go.
Well, I won't allow you to use this platform to promote that. You voted for Buhari in 2019, and if you want him to go, you route it through the National Assembly. You have to stay with him for 4 years. Talk to your representative.
There are processes.
You renewed his mandate in 2019, so this platform will not be used for your campaign, bros. Thank you.
It's not our fault.
Yes, it's not our fault.
You voted, because they had the opportunity. Nigerians had the opportunity.
He voted. He may not have voted.
Okay, so
but
Nigerians,
not everybody voted for him.
Nigerians,
because even me, I've not even voted in the last 2 elections. So somebody will look at me and say, "You voted for so person." I've not voted. Every election day, I'm busy at work.
Yes, we are always here.
Election day, you are in Castina.
What time do I have to go and vote?
On the field.
So this explains the way some Nigerians are feeling.
Yes.
That because in the midst of this, Babaji, you can just ask some people, when you say all is not well, they look at you that, what are you saying? That you are one of the detractors of this government. But we've gone beyond that right now.
No, it's
definitely. Everybody can see it now. That look, this thing is getting out of hand.
Yes.
That something must be done.
Just as my friend Ayo Jenny on Facebook said, anyone who claims that there is no insecurity in our land cannot win that kind of argument, because they will use facts to kill you.
Honestly. They
will assail you with facts, you will run away. We have problems. Look at the senator from Niger State, Senator Musa, saying that 42 communities across Shiroro and Rafi local government are in the hands of Boko Haram.
Niger.
42 communities. So it's not even one place. The governor referred to Kaure that they have their flag. He's saying that 42 communities in those 2 local governments.
That means it took time for those people, one by one, to be taking up those communities.
No, because for so long they were not resisted.
Oh.
They are active in Rafi, active in Munya and Shiroro, very active. But there are still some local governments where you still find them. So he's saying that in those places, more than 5,000 people have been displaced. People's wives have been taken away by force. You can imagine how much our people value the sanctity of their wives. Can you simply close your eyes and imagine that an individual will simply relieve you of your wife, take your wife away? It's a terrible scenario that you don't even want to think about it. But that's what some people are going through. That's what some people are going through. And that's why the problem has to be solved. We can't continue like this. We have to keep talking about it and offer hope to our people where we can offer hope, not to lie, to say, the situation is under control, when I know that it's not under control. I will never do that.
Number one responsibility of the government is protection of life and property. We'll take this break. When we come back, we'll talk more. It's still Journalists Hangout. Please stay with us. Still Journalists Hangout. I have Asuko James and Babaji Kolade Otitoju looking at the security situation around the country. Asuko, and when you look at what people are going through, because those people displaced. Yesterday we saw people from Gaydam, and after Jide brought that video yesterday, there's another video that I saw within Gaydam, the whole area deserted. As in nobody's living in that place again. They've left. So the person taking the shots was showing us street by street, house by house. They left Gaydam.
Okay. That is very the problems that we are going to face, because there are so many things that we are going to face which people do not know. One is going
fleeing now.
Yes, you can see people leaving their
Now, when you now go to the Gaydam now,
So
you can see
they
they're
are
fleeing,
leaving their
even
homes.
with their livestock and everything.
Everything.
That's what
So the place is empty now.
You can just
Shiroro
imagine.
area. So
You
that's what
can
is
just
happening.
imagine somebody saying, I'm going to take over the whole of Ikeja, and everybody is moving from Ikeja and we are heading towards maybe Osun State.
That was how people were leaving Dikwa for Niger Republic.
Niger Republic,
They
and
left the
that
place.
country. You know,
Yes.
because
They
of
have
some
no
ragtag.
the emir of Dikwa is currently living in Maiduguri because
can't
his
preside
palace,
over
his
this.
palace was burnt.
You understand?
You can't preside over anything there.
For what?
And they were enjoying the place before. He was there.
Because these people, they are not
now-
sure that if they are there, that these people, Boko Haram guys will not come back.
can
These
slaughter them.
people that
And
are
slaughter
living
them.
now, how are they going
No,
to
they
feed?
left when
We
those
have-
boys came.
We have a serious humanitarian crisis in our hands because we are talking about 5,000 displaced. Don't forget, Maiduguri has the highest number of displaced people already.
IDP camps.
IDP camps is just everywhere in Maiduguri. Now we are now looking at Niger State.
Niger State is down.
Is now moving towards Niger now. So very soon, we'll just find out that even the food that we are even eating, we won't have food to eat again.
Because these are the people producing it.
farmers that are producing this
Yes.
food.
Yes.
So we have a serious food crisis ahead of us. There will
Scarcity,
be
inflation,
serious-
it's already,
Yes, yes.
it's already,
Biting
the
hard.
It's
result-
showing.
it's
It's already
already
showing.
the cause of the inflationary trend.
You know, it's already showing.
Because the worst hits,
Most of these people guys, they are farmers.
the worst hits
at-
are those food producing belts, you know, either in the south or in the north. In the south, the food producing belt, in the southwest, the food producing belt is the Barakpa area,
Yeah,
you know,
Ibarapa.
the Okeogun. Those areas are not safe.
Oyo?
You go to the northwest, fantastic food production belt. Many parts of northwest, apart from Kano and Jigawa, nowhere in the northwest is safe. And you go to the northeast, the same thing.
So,
You know, so
even we are even talking about food now, or we also talk about education.
Yes,
Because
sir.
all these who are
No,
going
it's
to
when you have peace of mind that you can be going to school, the schools will be open and everything.
I'm looking at it, when you have displaced people
Like this.
in the near future, what will be
Happen.
their own ambition? Because these ones
The
now,
next
they would have
10
had
years.
ambition.
Yes.
Now is scattered completely.
And
look
this
at
ones in
children.
future, you can easily recruit them.
Of course, because at some point, if this small ration they've been getting from government is not coming, how are they going to feed? How will they survive? This is like the second or the third day, because I remember some days back, Niger State governor was complaining, and he was in the midst of these people.
yes.
He was complaining because he was the one that was saying that they asked for drone for him to be able to tackle insecurity, but they refused to give him the permission.
Okay, I have a call from Katsina. Thank you for joining us.
Good evening, Ayo.
Good evening from Kaduna State.
Well done for doing a good job.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
For a very long time, Ayo, we have been talking about the steps that the government are downplaying the gravity of the steps that is happening. What did you always mention? I hear some nonsense people on Facebook accusing you of not praising our military, and even when Lady Zara or waiting was mentioning Babaji's name yesterday or the day before yesterday, that he only praised Nigerian army or some kind of criticize them when they are losing. But the truth is, when you've been to Maiduguri, when you see people displaced, when you see clear suffering, people losing all they have in their life, you see soldiers being killed mercilessly for lack of basic military equipment. These are your good conscience and fear of God. How can you keep silence on this? From being where I'm speaking to right now, it has been a hopeless situation. It's like in every 1 or 3 person you meet, one has been victim of kidnapping. No family member being worried that one of their family members have not been a victim. I can challenge anybody with the fact. You can't fly from Tuaru to Binongwari anymore.
Yes.
Binongwari to Kaduna right now, you have to go on escort. In the last 7 weeks, more than 70 people have been killed. In a particular spot where the convoy of Binongwari was shot, That place has been a hub. It's just a 5 kilometer or 6 kilometer iron. But you dare not ply that road at this time as I'm speaking. The road will have been closed probably by 1 or 2. You only see few people traveling on that road. This is the busiest road that used to be the busiest road in this country. Highway 10.
Yes.
Linking the south to the north, not even to the northwest.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody is fighting that way anymore, and the government is not doing anything.
Everybody has abandoned the road.
Just some few days ago, 1.something kilometers to Benin, they came and rushed cattle and killed 6 people in Bagoma village. From my house, I'm viewing that village as I'm speaking to you. And nothing seems to be happening.
Nothing.
Nothing. So how do we remain silent and not talk or speak the truth to power?
Thank you.
I'm an APC steward. As I'm speaking, I hear a lot of people knew my voice, and they know what I'm saying is true.
Thank you. Thank you for your contribution.
At the end of the day, your loyalty should first be to your conscience.
Exactly.
That's what matters the most. We are not bothered, and we won't give some people on Facebook undue popularity that their being has not enabled them to secure. Their lack of hard work has not enabled them to secure. We won't give them popularity. We will not mention their names. We won't mention their names because the day you mention their names, maybe they will get 1,000 friend requests. Exactly. We are not going to do that. We will just keep doing our work. So any woman can say all kinds of
I don't even bother
rubbish about me. I'm doing my work. This is the job that God elected that I will do. And I'm doing it. So if I see the truth about the army, I will say it. That's just the truth. I'm too old to change. That's what they do not realize. And I do not hate the army. I have more friends in the army more than the people writing all the rubbish on Facebook. I have more friends. And any time that I want to see the biggest people in the army, they will receive me with open arms. That's a fact. So, because they also know that my job must be done. And I'm happy that the people that I meet, even the people that I criticize, they admitted that, yes, you are doing your job. I criticized the IG, former IG, over his stance towards Amotekun. But I still went to his office and he granted me an interview. And he behaved like I had never criticized him. That's maturity. Because he knows that I have to do my work. And I'm happy that that he had that understanding. So, little minds. We are not bothered about them. If we must throw stones every time that a dog barks at us on our way to the market, we won't get to the market.
I think as leaders, they should always expect those criticisms for them to be better.
Yes.
Because if they don't criticize you and every day somebody is coming and telling you everything is okay, everything, because that is how I even feel people are even doing to our president.
Because
everything is okay.
Senator Kwemi asked yesterday that everything going on, is not even sure that President Buhari is aware.
That is what I'm saying, Ayo. Because these criticisms,
it's like if you are aware,
he expects a level of response.
Yes, if you are aware, President Buhari will come on air this night and address Nigerians, declare emergency in some areas.
You know why I said there are some people around the president who simply lied to him. That speech, that June 12th speech, where the president was saying that IDPs had returned home.
Number.
In Maiduguri town alone, more than 20 IDP camps, and they are still there. Not to talk of that super IDP camp in Mongulo. There are hundreds of thousands of people. And someone wrote a speech for the president and he said that.
Do you remember another instance that the same president said that these people are not holding any...
no, that one is a routine lie, that they are not controlling territory. No, that one is a routine lie. It's not, that one is the most normal lie.
Now they are expanding their coast.
It's the most normal lie that you expect. That, oh no, they don't occupy any territory. When even the former chief of defense staff could say that. That's Olone Sake could say that. Or 4 people could say that. And he must have known in his heart of heart that he was lying to Nigerians. They don't occupy any territory. Whereas sometimes when you go and do your clearing operations, you will announce that you chase them away from their base. What is the meaning of base? What is the meaning of territory? That you chase them away from their base.
Anywhere they go.
You say you went to attack Timbuktu Triangle. Everyone knows that it is their base. They've been there for years. You know, so all of these things are meant to just distract people so that people won't face the reality. But the truth is, we are all in it together. If we have peace in our country, progress and development will happen. It's just a normal thing. It's just a normal thing. And people should stop trying to blackmail us to not do our work, because it will not work. You've been doing it. This program is about 7 years or so now. 7 years. You've not succeeded in blackmailing us into silence. Is it after 7 years that you will succeed? You can't succeed.
Moving on now, there is disquiet in Rivers State over appointment of a chief judge for the South states following appointment of Justice Simon Amadi as the new chief judge of the state by Governor Nyesom Wike. Lawyers in the state are not having it. They expressed displeasure with the governor for overlooking Justice Joy Akpugunam, who is the most senior judge in the list sent to the State Judicial Service Commission to the National Judicial Council for consideration. They claim that the Governor Wike promised to sustain the policy of seniority and precedence in judicial appointments when appointing outgoing chief judge, but is now shifting ground unethically. What's this about, Babajide? Because we know that I think there's like seniority in this thing. And one by one, there was a time that it took like people in Lagos State, the most senior judges in Lagos State were women. And
that's what the Constitution recommends. Section 271, subsection 4, says when the position is vacant, the governor shall appoint the most senior judge to act.
Next to line.
That's the way it is designed. What some governors are trying to do is reckless and irresponsible. You cannot be circumventing the Constitution on the basis of ethnicity, on the basis of religion, on the basis of gender, and some clannishness. You can't do that. They must humble themselves and respect the Constitution. You know, something similar to this happened in Cross River. When it was time for someone to become chief judge, they brought the issue of marriage. They brought the issue of marriage. That she's only from Cross River by marriage. So you just discovered. What is even the difference between Akwa Ibom and even their languages are so similar. You used to be in the same state. Something is wrong with our governors. You used to be in the same state, for God's sake.
Efik and EBBO.
Yes, of course.
They are speaking, they understand what each other is.
They have a general...
Yes. These are how we see how we divide ourselves. Now, the argument of these lawyers is, if this same Governor Nyesom Wike, who is a lawyer, the wife is a judge, a justice. If this same Barrister Wike, let me even call him Barrister Wike because he's a lawyer, although trying to circumvent the Constitution. If Barrister Wike allowed seniority to prevail when he appointed the outgoing chief judge, who will vacate the seat in May, at the end of May, why has he chosen to not be consistent by allowing the same principle to prevail at this time? Why is he trying to now circumvent a principle that he too had abided by before now? So it just shows, you know, governors think that they can always get away with constitutional sacrilege. And we have to stand up to what these governors are doing. They have to be humble enough to respect our Constitution. They are the same people who don't want to allow us to have judicial autonomy. They are going up and down, going to make the president, stopping the president from the president that should have gazetted the thing. They went and blocked it. Now look at what they are doing. How much longer are we going to have this?
Look at even at the federal level, even if it's 6 months, you have to spend there. They know that the next person, after this man now, the chief judge there now, the next in line, automatically will already know. He might not even spend 6 months there. He might not spend 1 year to his retirement, but they know that this thing must go to this person.
But I don't know why the state governors are always having that problem, especially most of the states. Something that is already in the constitution. Because Section 271 says it, the most senior judge must. And Rivers, don't forget in Rivers, that was the same similar thing that happened
court for
at
almost,
the last Lamet's time.
Yes. Over a year, they locked the court.
You know, they locked the court. JSU has been saying something about financial autonomy for the judiciary. And if you look at how they've been saying, it's the same thing. This is similar. Leave the Judicial Service Commission to do whatever they want to do with their money, to also appoint where necessary. Because the thing is, let them run. Because the thing is, if the NJC recommends, the governor is supposed to say, okay, fine, out of these 3, this is the most senior, based on the constitution. There shouldn't be a situation whereby the governor will now look for, because even the Justice Joy, perhaps I'm thinking, let me even think from Wiki, is thinking that by the time you put Justice Joy, by the time 2023 comes, she will be leaving, because that is when she will retire, because she has to. But the thing is, she is a career person. Let her stay there and do her time. By the time it's 2 years, she will leave. Then another person, who is the Justice Amadi, can take over. But we would always want to cause problem where there is no problem. We have so many problems.
They've not solved the problems in their state. So.
We have so many problems already.
There is poverty,
there is insecurity.
There is infrastructure deficit. That even if you give them a lifetime, they cannot solve those problems. But they will be creating problems, trying to divide our people.
Exactly.
Creating problems that ought not to be there. The outgoing CJ is even from Edo State. So you allowed him because he was the most senior. Everyone said, "Oh, this man has done the right thing." Now look at what you are trying to do.
My problem with them is the power. When you look at the kind of power they wield, the same thing. Any president in Nigeria, that if the president is power drunk, you discover that Nigerian president is very, very powerful. The same thing, our constitution has given these governors a lot of powers.
Yes, but even those powers have limitations. The constitution is supreme. Governors want to assume supremacy over the constitution, but that will not work. The constitution describes itself as supreme. So our governors now saying that that they are now superior to the constitution, that will not happen. What the judiciary itself has to stand firm. There are so many things that they allow the governors, they allow the executive to get away with. It's time for them to be standing firm to say, no, it will not happen. You know, I always talk about even the Fayose matter. When the executive decided, at that time, the House in Ekiti State decided to suspend the chief judge, and appointed another person. So it was the person they appointed that now set up a panel to try Fayose. That's why that impeachment is a nullity. As far as the law is concerned, Fayose was never impeached because the then Chief Judge, Justice Begore, said, no, you have no power to suspend
another arm,
a chief judge.
Independent arm.
Another arm of government. You have no power. Your powers do not get to that point. So every action that one took,
nullity. And
the NJC went ahead and also punished the judge that agreed to serve, agreed to work for the assembly. They decided to punish him because they don't have that power. So you should have declined that offer. You know, so I'm saying that the judiciary will help itself by standing firm at all times. Like in this case now, the judiciary stood firm against Amechi. Amechi didn't succeed.
And that is,
Amechi didn't succeed. And immediately Wike came in. Wike did the right thing. Put the person who ought to be there.
Exactly.
there.
So
now it's the same Wike now who is now allowing history to repeat itself. But I just hope that, despite Wike's attempt to misuse power, that the NJC will stand firm on this matter.
All right, I have Afolabi on the line. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Good evening. I greet you, Babajide, Asuko, and you, the presenter.
Thank you.
I really enjoy your program. But on this judicial matter, I think there is a lacuna in the Constitution itself. If the National Assembly can employ their own president and the Constituent Assembly their own speaker, I think the right thing for the judiciary to do in every part of the arms of government is to elect their own leader. What the president or the governor should do is to appoint whoever must have been elected, not for the governor to override the commission to elect somebody for them. No, it is wrong. I think we should change the constitution. The judicial commission should be the one to elect their leaders. Good evening.
Thank you.
No,
the
NJC
those ones
that recommends.
When you use the example of
Senate President,
those ones
Speaker.
are not public servants. They are not civil servants. The judge is a civil servant. The civil service has its own rules.
Exactly.
These are politicians. You are in the Senate today, you may not be there tomorrow.
Exactly.
So the rules governing the Senate, we cannot bring to
the state.
To govern public service or the civil service.
The judiciary.
You know?
The judiciary.
It's just like the example that someone gave the other day that if there is no age limit for Buhari, why should there be age limit for judges and others? It cannot work.
Of 90
It cannot work. Nigeria is not the only place where there is a age limit for judges. Even in the US, yes, okay, no age limit, but you know that once you are approaching 80, that you have to leave. So this the standard is there that the most senior judge, and the reason is experience enables makes you a better judge.
Exactly.
So if they turn it to something that they'll be voting, electing people, that means a judge who just suddenly got promoted into the Supreme Court, if he has money, he can buy his colleagues, and then they will make him chief judge over the people that he met there. Some of them have been in the Supreme Court for up to 10 years. He will now become their leader. That one cannot work now. Let us, even if the constitution will be changed in future, let's abide by it at this time. What is there is, let's abide by it at this time. Wike has to do what is right. He's a lawyer now.
Let's go. What's in short?
Yeah, we are looking at Wike now, and I believe he's going to watch this. We want him to do the right thing. He has done the right thing before. So on this, we are expecting him to do the right thing. Because he is also a lawyer.
Why is he trying to copy Amechi?
Let him not copy
Instead of learning from the experience
because
of
we know how we whipped Amechi. Even then, he didn't agree until he came and did the right thing. So this is the opportunity for over a year. So I do not want that to happen.
And Amechi didn't achieve his aim.
No, he didn't. He didn't. And he too will not, because by the time
the same judiciary that stood by him,
you know,
when he was cheated by Obasanjo and co, the same judiciary that stood by him, those babas in the Supreme Court, he disrespected them because of power. That's what power does to you.
All right. I want to thank you, Asuko James. Thank you for your contribution.
Thank you so much.
And the maestro himself, Babajide Kolade Otitoju. Thank you for your contribution as always.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming.
Yes, sir. And that's our offering today. Join us tomorrow for another episode of the program. Don't forget to join Journalists Hangout on Sunday from 1:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. We're on YouTube, youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I'm Ayodele Uzubakum. Bye for now, and God bless Nigeria.